Good morning to all of you, and I hope all of you have a very good weekend and very good holidays. So now we are back again with the classes. So first of all, I would like to say that I am audible or not.
Yes, sir, you
Yes.
are.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, Shubha Vijaya to all of you, and a very good holiday you have. I hope, I wish, and all of you are safe and happy with the family. So let's start our topics or classes. Okay, so before closing to the puja vacation, we have discussed about the part of data communication that is related to LAN, WAN. This type of topic we have discussed as far as I remember. Now, coming to the next topic of data communication, that is called internetwork. That is called internetwork. So we are familiar with the part of network. What is network? What is the basic concept of network? What are the components? What are the priorities for a network? So we have discussed on these particular things, right? Now, so consider a scenario. So previously, whatever we have talked, so we have tried, we have discussed about the data transfer, we have talked about many things, right? Now consider a scenario where suppose our college, a Techno India group, okay, it is whole of a Techno India group, right? Now, this Techno India group have more than 18-20 colleges all over in West Bengal, Jharkhand, some Madhya Pradesh also, right? And many schools also. So all are under the part of Techno India group. Now, what is the scenario I'm talking about here? That each of these college and schools and universities also have their own network. So whatever the data is being transmitted, whatever the information need to share, whatever the things are happening inside one college, suppose our Chaivas Engineering College. So there is a particular setup, a network setup here. Now that whole Techno India group needs to manage from somewhere. Maybe we call our head office also. So this head office need to maintain and monitor all the things, all of the colleges of all of the schools, right, from some places, because it is not possible to put some person, put some director or chairperson in every colleges. So that is a little bit hectic. So that's where somewhere the thing totally managed from a single place. So how it can be tracked? So that's where the part of this network plays a important role, right? So suppose I'm talking about uh, suppose attendance system, faculty's attendance system. It is a biometric thing now, and the whole thing needs to be monitored centrally. Each of the college have their own network, have some devices are installed where the faculties come and put their in and out punch, right? Now the things need to be monitored, need to be stored somewhere, and the data needs to be verified from a particular place from the top of the institutions, right? From the top of the heads for all of the things. So that things can be monitored if the network connections from the colleges to the head offices are synchronized, are connected in a proper way, so that whenever a faculty is giving an in time, that should be reflect to the head office also. So the networking synchronization is needed here. So this is called a part of network, inter network. So inter things, the connected, the things are connected via the network. This is an example, a small example of a inter network. So here in the scenario, in the diagram, we can see two offices. right? Here in the left part, that is a West Coast office, and in the right part, that is the East Coast office. Now, each of these offices, East Coast office and West Coast office, have their own set of network connected via LAN, because it is in a single place. So we remember that whenever we are putting a network in a single place for a single organization offices, then it comes under the part of the LAN network, right? So these two offices have separately their own setup or their own network setup via LAN. Now each of those offices have a gateway outer point that is called a router, that helps to direct the message from one office to another office. Now, what happens here? The scenario is when the data or when the information needed to share between two persons in the same office. Suppose in the East Coast office, two persons are sharing data with each other. So what happens? The LAN will plays the role. The data will be shared or transferred via the LAN. So in that particular case, the router have no functionality. The router will not play any significant role here. But when the data needs to be transmitted from one place to another place, from one office to another office, suppose from east to west, so then the router will play the role. The router, the message or the information will be routed via the router. So these things are connected. The total setup is known as the inter network, right? So whenever the things are connected in an organization, inside an organization, then it is fine. The things will be dealt by the LAN part. But when the things will be needs to be share the data between each other from one office to another office, then the WAN scenario comes in, where the devices are much more, where it will be some router needs to be there. The router will play a role to route the data from one office to another office. So a simple diagram is displayed here, and a simple example of this internetwork. Simple, very example. So here a complex part of the consisting WAN and LANs. The total scenario is described here, that as I said, that when it is LAN, it is inside an organization, then it is very fine because the things are connected via the LANs. But when we need to route it, we need to transfer the message from one place to another different places, then the WAN scenario comes in and the diagram will be a little bit hectic. So we can see here that a modem, the devices, the number of devices are high here, that modems will play the role, the router is taking a place, the number of routers are higher, then LAN part. So we can see that it is a LAN from the left side. Okay, just a minute. So we can see this is a LAN part and this is a LAN part. So there are two different LAN parts, right? Now, one LAN is routed, the router. So there are several routers, gateways are there, several routers. We can see switched WANs. So it is a WAN part. So switched WAN. So this is a different places. So suppose from the east part to the west part, the data needs to be transmitted. So the path may be a very long path, so that's why the different WANs, it needs to be traveled with different places, so different WANs need to be passes, so the strength depending, so we need to focus each and everything, each and every parameter we need to check the strength of the information, the speed. So if the strength is getting delayed or if the strength is minimized, then the data will not be transferred properly. So each of the components needs to be synchronized. So then after that, data or the message can be passed properly from one place to another places. And to do that, the things are a little bit complex, the devices are much higher, so each of the things needs to be properly set up. The setup, the synchronization is needed to pass the data from one place to another place. So we can see via the diagram that it is not so much easy to set this thing. To set up the thing, it is not very easy. So the things need to be checked properly. The setup needs to be proper. Otherwise, it cannot be synchronized. The data transfer, all of the things cannot be synchronized properly. Now, a basic differences of LAN and WAN is displayed here. So we have already talked on these things, so I will not go all of the points. So just a short remember, I will just short brief introduction again, that LAN is for local area network and WAN is for wide area network. So LAN, as I said, it is inside a building, and WAN, it is connected in a difference of geographical or topological area. LAN is a private WAN, maybe a private or public. LAN range is small, where the WAN range is very large. LAN propagation delay is short, where the WAN is long. Congestion is less, WAN is more. So these are the basic differences of LAN and WAN. Very basic differences. So maybe either it come your exam, not frequently it comes into the exam, okay, because it is a very basic question, so very rarely this question comes into the exam, but still we need to check this out. We need to remember these things also. Now, coming to the next point, that is switching, the technique. It is a particular switching between the network. So switching, the diagrams, if we can see, if we are following the diagram first, so what it is actually saying, that we can see two devices are present, that is switch 1 and switch 2, and some devices are connected via switch 1 and via switch 2. Now if we look properly here, we can see the devices are connected via the switches. The devices are connected via the switches, that is the line, it is very low capacity. That means the border, the black border is very thick and thin, sorry, and where for the switches, the cable between the switches, it is very thick. So we can say that the devices that are connected via the switch 1 means the switches, the devices that are connected with the switches, that is holding a low capacity line, whereas the switch, the cable that is connecting the switches, it is on high capacity line. So a low capacity line and high capacity line, it is connected with each other via the switch, and the devices are connected with the switch. So what is this switch about? So the switch is basically connecting two links. So as I said, the links need to be set up whenever we are trying to transfer the data from one place to another places. A links need to be set up. Previously, in previous classes, I have also described this part that how the data transfer begin. So when we are trying to transfer a data, so what happened? It's not like that. That yes, I want to send the data to device 2, so I am just randomly sending the data and the device 2 will catch. No, it is not like that. What happens here, that the device 1 first send a request message to the device 2. If device 2 are free, then device 2 will acknowledge that request. So this request of information, sharing of information, and then acknowledge that request, it is, we can say that via this process, the link is set up, the link is getting set up. So this is we need to connect a link. So how, what are the devices that is connecting it? We can say that this is a switch. So the switch connects these links together. So the what is all about the switch? The switch are actually connecting the links together, so that the data and information can pass from one switch to another switch. So this switch actually forward the data from one network to another network. So after the setup is done, after the request and acknowledgement part was completed, then the data forwarded from one device to another device. So this switch is just a device that is setting up the link between two two devices we can say. So the at least connecting two links. So the links are established, but we need a device that will connect these links. So switch is that particular thing that is connecting each of these particular links. Now, this switch have two parts, or we can say two type of switches are present in our networking scenario. One that is called circuit switch, and second one is called packet switch. Circuit switch and packet switch. So what happened in circuit switch and packet switch is that in circuit switch, a dedicated line is established. A dedicated line is established, and this dedicated line is called as circuit. So whatever the lines, this cable between switch 1 and switch 2, it is known, it is a dedicated line because a cable is present here. A cable is present there, and we have already discussed that whenever the thing is connected via cable, then it is a dedicated line. So the total speed, bandwidth, all of the things will be delivered only between these two devices that are connected via that cable. So that's why it is a dedicated link. So in circuit switch network, the link will be dedicated, and it is always available between the two-end system. So the links is established via the two-end system with the help of the cable, and switch can only make it active or inactive. So if no data or information need to share between the switch 1 and switch 2, then by activating that switch, it is of no use. So we are not using the speed or the bandwidth of that particular thing, right? So if there is no data needs to be passed at all, then the link will be inactive. And whenever the data needs to be transferred, the link will be active again. And this active and inactive part totally dealt by the switch. So sorry for the network interruption. Okay. Now, so as we are discussing that the switch have a dedicated connection, and the total thing is managed via the switch. Whether the link will be active or inactive, it will be managed by the switch actually. So as we have discussed already that in both of the end of the switches, the devices are connected. So we can say this is a telephonic devices. So some telephones are connected on each side of the switches. So the switch connects the telephone at one side to the telephone of other side. So whenever we are trying to call via land phone, so if we go 6 to 7 years back, actually, not 6 to 10 years back, so we all have seen this telephonic thing, the telephone actually, where the things is connected via the cable, and whenever we are trying to call someone, the link will be established via this particular way. So this is the way when a telephone calls are actually done. So this is a particular part of circuit switch network. So the telephone, the connection of telephones, we can say that it is a part of circuit switch network. So what is the advantage? That advantage of the circuit switch network is that the bandwidth. Whenever we are trying to connect with the cable, it means that the bandwidth or the speed is totally used by that particular devices. So the advantage only here is that using the full bandwidth of the given dedicated line, and the disadvantage is that the network is most of the time will be inactive, because when I'm calling only that particular time, the speed or the bandwidth is active or it is of use. Otherwise, it is totally of no use, so it will be inactive. So this is the advantage and the disadvantage. Just a minute. Okay, so this is the part of circuit switch network. Now coming to the topic of packet switched network. So packet switch network, in that particular thing that is happening. So in circuit switch network, we can see the things are telephones. Now in packet switch network, we can see the devices have changed. So it is some laptops or desktop we can say consider. So what happened here in packet switch network? The communication, whatever the communication is actually happening between the two ends, is done in blocks of data. So packets, first of all, before going to packet switch network, we need to know the term packet. What is packet? As far I remember that previously I have already told or described that what is packet. So anyone can tell me that what is packet? Anyone can remember that what is packet? What is packet? Anyone?
Sir,
Yes.
a particular data is divided into some packets to transfer one location to another location.
Okay. So okay, all the things are correct, but here one thing I'd like to add, that packets, when I'm asking that what is packets, it means that the information, the message what we need to pass, that will be divided into the small segments. So the larger, if the message is very large, or whatever, it can be a small message also. If we are going through the packet switch network, so the message will be divided or separated with a block of the messages. So the total message will be divided into different small segment of that particular message, and that small segment is called as packet. So packet is the small segment of an information. So this, whenever I'm using this packet switch network, actually, so the data, whatever the data is going to transfer from one place to another places, the data will be divided into these packets, and then the packets will be transferred between the path. The packets will be transferred between the paths. The packets is done, the switch is used for both sorting and forwarding, because the packet is an independent entity that can be stored and sent data. Now, what happened here? Each of the devices. So previously it was a telephone. So how much call can be done via telephone? So most of the time the links will be inactive, right? But in case of packet switch network, via it connected some like laptop, desktop, something like that. So the passing of the information of the message are very continuous. So the data transfer will be continuous all the time. So that's why the routers here, the things is used, that is switch. Now in this particular packet switch network, the thing have been used, that the devices that is used, that is called router. So the router will have a queue option, that which message need to be passed at what particular time. So a queue will be there to short short the messages on the priority basis. If there is an urgency, if there is some priority higher than, if any message have higher priority, then that will be sent first. So there are several procedures we can follow, there are several properties we can follow. So this switch is used for both sorting and forwarding, because a packet is an independent entity that can be stored and sent later. So we can see that computers are connected on each side of the router, and this router has the queue option that can store and forward the packets. So whenever the data is transferred from the computers to the router, so the router will first hold, the router will store the data, the packets into the router part, wherever it, the storage, and then it will forward the packet. So it's like hold and forward. So this packet switch network is actually is going for a concept of hold and forward. So it is not like that whatever the data comes, it just flow it out. It will first hold the data into the router side, and then it will process the data, then it will forward the data. So now, as I said, suppose out of 4 computers, two computers are trying to send the data at the same time. Fine, it can, no issue on that. So what happened when two or more devices are trying to send the data at the same time? So which data will be passed first? Then it comes the priority, the high capacity line. So if any packets arrives at one router, when the high capacity line is full, then the packet should be stored and forwarded. So if the line, if the path is already used by a particular device, then when the next message, when the next device will send the data, it will just come to the router part, and there it will be stored, it will be hold for the time being till the previous process is completed. So if the previous process is completed, then the next thing will be done. And now if there are two data are in hold mode, so what happened, which one will go first? There can be several things we can do actually here. That one, with the higher priorities, which data it can be transferred. Second, the data have come first and in the queue have first actually, so that will be transferred. So basically most of the time in general what happened, that the queue order is maintained, and whatever the message comes to the queue first, and that will be processed first. So this is the basic of packet switch network. So advantage, it has more advantage over circuit switch network because the capacity or the efficiency of the path is used fully here. It is not active or inactive like that. All the things are done. But what is the disadvantage here? For the hold and forward policy, that the data or the packet may face some delays, because if the path is already been in a process, then actually the second one needs to hold, and that's why it sometimes it can be delayed. So this is the advantage of packet switch and disadvantage of packet switch network. So any questions up to this particular part? Anyone, if any have doubts, any questions, then they can say or ask. Otherwise I'm going to talk on the next topic. Okay, by the time, please write down your names in the chat box for the attendance purpose. Okay, 31 students are present, so I request all to write down your names in the chat box. Now, okay, we have talked about this network, the policies, right? Now we need to know the network or the internet in today's era, because in our today's life, in our daily life, actually not daily, in our every minute, in every seconds of the life, the network is connected fully. We are fully connected with the internet. So internet is a very important thing in our daily life. If any of us is means given option to live a life without internet, then we will not accept it, because we are habituated to this particular thing. We are habituated to the internet, to we are connected with the internet in such a way that we cannot think that we are off the internet. So if for a particular time, if our internet is down, then we tried many ways, many possible ways to sort it out. Just a little example on that. Few days back, I think just a 2 weeks or 3 weeks back, I hope all of you remember that the total Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram have gone down, right? So I can assure, I can tell that each of you have tried your most possible options when the things have down, the Facebook, the WhatsApp, the Instagram have down. All of you have first think that your network have some problem, your net is not working. Am I wrong? I think most of you have think first that your net is wrong, your net is not working properly. So there is some problem with your net, not the Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So if I'm wrong, you can tell me. Even I also think that when I'm trying to send a message in WhatsApp, it is not actually delivered. So what I think that my net is not working. So what happened? What is wrong? I tried all the possible ways to sort it out. So what are the possible ways? I tried to restart the phone. I tried to airplane mode the phone. So all the things, all the way I have explored. I think all of you have done the same thing, right? So this is the problem. If for a particular moment our things, our internet is not working properly, then we just lose our mind. What happened? Because we are fully connected with the internet nowadays. So I think whatever with the example, what the example I have tell right now with the Facebook, Instagram, it is true for all. If it is not true for anyone, then he or she can tell me. Otherwise, if no one is responding, then I can consider yes, it is true for all the person, right? So now, what is the internet today? So for this thing, now as the thing is very much developed or it is connected, so the things need to be upgraded each of the moment. That's why the things, backbones, the network providers, and the customer network. These three are major important thing in our network, because I am paying for the network I am using. Anyone, one is using Geo, one is using Airtel, one is using some alliance broadband, whatever it can be. So I am paying money for the service, right? So if I am not getting the services properly, then it is of no use. So all the three things, backbone, the network providers, and the customer networks need to be in a synchronized mode. Well, how it to be synchronized? Because the network providers and the backbones are one part, and customer network is another part. So this backbones and the provider networks, that will be monitored by the service providers and the companies. Actually, they need to set up the things properly so that we, the customer or the user, can get the things properly. And from our end, whatever the devices we are using, whatever the phone or laptop, desktop, it have a good internet things, it can use the things properly. We also need to check or monitor that. So the two parts, backbone on the network providers is one, we can say, in one component, and the customer network is another component. So these three things are the major important thing for the internet in today's era. So backbones means the total setup done by the companies. So providers, the network providers are providing the network net, but the companies such as Airtel, such as Vodafone, Jio, BSNL, they first need to set up their backbones for the data, for the network. Means to set up a place, to set up a office, to set up the towers, all the things from where the companies can provide the data, provide the net to the local internet service providers. So the backbones means the companies first. Next, the network providers. Network providers means the provider who are actually providing the data or providing the network, or actually paying some money to the backbone companies, and then the providers and is using and sending or providing the services to the user. So the network provider is one component also, and thirdly the customer network. Customer network, that is actually services provide the internet. So we are using that services. So these three, backbone, network providers, and the customer network, these three are the major backbones, major components for the internet today's era. So in today's era, these are the three major components we can talk about. So backbone and provider, network provider, is called the ISPs. We have all heard the term, that is internet service providers. Okay, so for the time is going to end with very few seconds are left. So I am going to stop today, and we are going to discuss it in our next class. So I think whatever the things we have discussed today is clear to all of you. If anyone have any doubts, then he or she can ask me in my next class. Okay, as the time is going to end. So thank you all for joining into the class and having patience to listen the topics. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.